Computer. Okay. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining. This is Ashish Gakre, founder of HR Shaper. This is another awareness session by HR Shaper, bringing solution provider and industry leader, expert SMEs to share what the market look like as per their offering, as per their product, how our HR fraternity can really, you know, take all those information and decide the meaningful uh, or decide it accordingly and make the informed decision. Ki this is what I want to go for. Okay, that may be one objective for people to join. Another objective is knowledge sharing. What is employee experience, employee engagement is all about, right? Because we have the leader who are selling this product, who are sharing with USP of their offering to multinational, startup, mid-sized company, large companies, and also they know industry pain area also, and they know what the thing which is working out well. During the COVID, we all must have experienced engagement was the first priorities, and engagement converted into experience. That's what I remember. Okay, so this is all the look like. This is the flyer in the market, social media. I don't need to tell each one name, but let me tell Manoj Agrawal from Zozote, Partha Nogi, Ventesh Circle, Ismati Bhatt from Advantage Club, Hira Tiwari from Core Over into HR Chatbot, Molly BC from MAQAI, they are also from HR Chatbot, Shrikant Acharya, good friend of Nidis, then Rohit Dodi, good friend, Fidelity Investment, and Ajay Venkatesh joining from Accenture. Thank you everybody for joining. So I will just touch upon in next couple of minutes what is HR Shaper is all about, and then share the format. Okay, so we are largest body. Everybody claim to be largest. We are also largest body, presence in all over India as well as out of India. We keep doing a lot of webinars, seminar during the COVID, and it is working well also. So pick up any name, we are there. Yes, we brought various global HR leader. You can see the name and photos, during the COVID, and they share the knowledge with our HR fraternity worldwide. This is another, photos of some of the leaders. Then we started engagement series when COVID was started. Brought almost 25 HR leader to share, what was the engagement all about that particular time. It was very hot topic. Then the awareness session, which I keep talking about, I brought almost 25 HRMS leader, solution provider to share what they should provide to the HR community. Then another awareness session, how to do the HR event in new normal. So there are almost 25 HR association. They came forward to share the knowledge. This is another HRMS session. We did it in 2021. That was part two. Then World Tour of Africa series happened, covering whole location in a day. Then yes, we believe in wellness and well-being also. So there were two sessions which happened, and that was supported by mHealth. Last global webinar was by, that was Dr. Peter Capley. He did talk about future of the office. This was another awareness session on HR compliances and BGV. And this was the last biggest one, which I keep doing every year. Model is one topic, one date on one time. So this last year I did cover almost 25 countries, 40 location on one date, one time. This was the last session, tips by executive search expert and headhunters. Part 2 is going to happen in March month. Yes, HR Shaper also believe in engagement experience. So HR Shaper completed, I would call it 8 years, and we celebrate in a unique way. Go to race course, and then from where idea of HR Shaper come, the Mahalakshmi race course based in Mumbai. We go every year. This was the bunch of HR Shaper go to meet the horse. Okay, some of them do the betting as well. Okay, so what is there for HR community? Part 2 is going to happen. World tour of ACA and MEA series will happen. Some awareness session will also happen in a different way, like this is one of them. And then offline physical get together will start, because now COVID is kind of no more, but restriction will continue. Okay, so this is some of the photos. So those who were there in the course, please type your experience. Okay, what is coming next is cricket sports evening. It's going to happen in 25th Feb in Mumbai. All the Mumbai HR Shaper, I will share the registration 7 p.m. to 11 p.m. next week Friday. Please block it. Cricket and football will be the sports. Okay, so thanks once again all our 8 speaker. Okay, let me start the session. Actually now after it's already 5 minutes. This is how the format will look like. Okay, and I will stop here. No session is incomplete without our delegates, without our speaker. But the biggest contributor is always our partner. Okay, you can call it a sponsor, you can call it something else, and there are some of them who really always come forward to say, okay, let me support this event, let me share, what I have in terms of anything, And thank you, Partha, to come forward to support this event. And this event is powered by none other than Vantage Circle. Okay, I would like to run the video without any delay. Uh, Before that, Partha, you like to say something?
Yeah, thanks, Ashish. Thanks for inviting us and giving us the opportunity to be here, and I think amazing audience already, 100 plus I see there, and I think great job done by you across all the different, spaces which you are sharing this knowledge. And it's good to be here among this esteemed panel. So I'll not take your time. I think we can go ahead.
Yes, sure. Okay, so here is the video. I need to check on that. Share sound, right? Okay, I'm just doing audio check. Is it? You're able to hear?
Attracting and retaining top talent is the biggest challenge faced by organizations around the globe. Employees not only seek a good company culture, but also a sense of fulfillment from their work. Providing a fulfilling employee experience has become a complex and expensive task for organizations today. Introducing Vantage Circle, the one-stop employee engagement and benefits platform. We provide you with a cost-effective solution which puts your people first with our feedback, benefits, recognition, and wellness programs. Measurement is the first step to improvement. Our data-driven survey tool, Vantage Pulse, enables you to collect feedback from employees. Its continuous evaluation helps you analyze the key areas for improvement. The Employee Discounts Program, Vantage Perks, offers attractive benefits, discounts, and redeemable cashbacks exclusively for your employees. The Employee Recognition Program, Rewards, helps build a culture of recognition with instant rewards, peer-to-peer appreciation, and social recognition. And the customized health and wellness program, Vantage Fit, is a modern tool designed to establish a culture of wellness among your employees. Our comprehensive platform allows your employees to access all programs with a single login, helping you to make everything simple and efficient. Started in the year 2011, Vantage Circle is the leading employee engagement and benefits platform, trusted by companies like Infosys, Cognizant, PayPal, Intuit, and many others.
With Vantage Circle has been about 4+ years, and I must say it's been awesome to work with them because we have been able to customize a lot of things for our employees. I'm very happy to say that we've just evolved with the way we've run this program, and Vantage Circle has played a very big role in that.
So it's not by accident we did. And I've been working on it for about a week. So now I'm going to show you how I use Grammarly to edit. Okay, so here's my instance.
Okay, so thank you, Partha. Thank you, Vantage Circle, once again for supporting this event. Okay, so let me share what do we have now. Okay, so we have Rohit on the screen, Partha is there, Hira is there, Smriti, Ajay joined, Manoj is also there from Zozo Darius. So We have everyone, but before that, I just want to run one more video. Where is this? Yeah. Okay, sorry, I'm taking little more time, which I should not do it. So this is from HR1, who's our regular kind of, well-wisher. Uh, I hope it should not take much more time to come on the screen. Yes, here it is. Thank you, Meg, for supporting.
Process is very easy. We never thought that this one software can do so many things.
System is very easy to navigate, and and the look and feel of the system is really exciting. So that's what making
video is not
people
Ashish,
to
we
go to
can't
the
see the
system and play around.
Especially if you're thinking of going ahead with that, because HR being an enterprise service, you want to have that little bit of personal touch. This is what pits HR1 against the other teams.
Ashish, we can't see the video.
Sorry, I will run it in between. Yeah. Let's continue. So I'm sharing the schedule right away. Okay, so this is our we are right now 3:12, 2 minutes behind. Okay, so as we said, ladies always first. So we will have first session from Advantage Club, none other than Smriti Bhatt, and then the next one would be from Manoj Agrawal from Zozode. Then we will have two industry HR leaders joining, close friend Ajay Venkatesh from Accenture and Rohit from Fidelity Investment. So Ajay will be there after Manoj Agrawal. Then after that, Partha will be there from Ventesh Circle. Then Rohit, then Hira Tiwari, and then Srikant Acharya. Moli is not able to join because he's based in USA, so there is some connection, not the connection, but some other issues. So I will stop sharing here and let me hand over to Smriti. Please introduce yourself, okay? And our HR community would like to know what do you have something to offer, yeah, so that they can make the informed decision. They get to know what is employee experience and engagement you are able to provide.
Thank you so much, Ashish, for having me here. And it's exciting to see panelists here. I know a few of them. I've worked with a few of them, like Srikant or Finis. We worked with them, so it's a very closed group, and I'm really excited to be among bunch of people around. Thank you, attendees, for joining. I'm Smriti. I'm the co-founder of Advantage Club. We're an employee experience platform. So I will just share my screen, and first I know we're pressed for time, so I'll keep it quick. I'll run through the features of the program first, and then we can do some Q&A, and we can then move on to the next speaker. So let me just share my screen. Please let me know if you can see my screen.
Yes, we can.
Wonderful. So let me first start about the whole topic of today, which is employee engagement and employee experience. Why is that really important as a concept itself? So if you look at it, employee disengagement has been affecting bottom lines of businesses since a while now, and this is something which has gotten even worse over time, considering today's hybrid work culture, and even in terms of other jobs, the crazy amount of costs which have been incurred due to disengagement in this entire industry as well. And one of the interesting things which I've found in different reports by Gallup and by others is that if you are replacing an employee, the cost of a direct replacement of an employee is 6 times of the employee salary itself. So it will typically take you 6 months of salary of an employee to actually replace the maybe notice period not being, it's just a very expensive thing. So you spend so much of time in educating and bringing on board employees. It just makes sense to retain them and also create a very coherent culture in which employees are happy being where they are. So that's where we come in. We feel one is fit when you look at organizations and when you're looking at their needs, and it is a very custom solution depending on what kind of requirements every company has. So for example, we have a solution called as Perks, which is an employee discounting program. So you get different employee offers. You can put your own offers. You can bring extra offers. We have our own marketplace of over 10,000 brands, which provide exclusive discounts. You can run your entire recognition suite end to end using the digital tool of Advantage Club. We have both mobile apps as well as a website. So you can do things like you can collect nominations, you can drive approvals, drive different forms of manager-based awarding, different forms of peer-to-peer appreciation, analytics reports. Everything is pulled together in a very technologically sound portal itself. We also have reverse reimbursement modules where you can drive different specific interests of the organization. Like if you want to drive a work from home initiative or a wellness initiative, or you want to drive, say, a learning and development initiative, we have partners all across the world, and they've integrated it in such a cool manner. Like for our work from home initiative, in fact, we've worked with Shrikant from Off Needs in the past. So we work with different partners and we create a single solution where we provide a coherent solution for the entire organization in one single place. We also have a multi-wallet tax saving card. We call it the Advantage card. So if you want to enable employees to save their taxes, and Government of India offers different avenues for employees to save taxes, like in meals, in fuel, and in travel, LTA, and all of those things. We have a card which you can give to employees. And if I'm swiping that card in a Kirana store, my grocery wallet will get deducted. If I'm swiping that card in a petrol pump, my fuel wallet will get deducted. And it comes combined with an app where you can make the changes to your card as well. Our early wage access program is a financial wellness program where employees can take salary advances before their payday, and we sponsor that amount. It's payroll integrated, zero liabilities and zero risk on the organization. But if employees are struggling with money, they don't need to go to their managers. They have a wellness in terms of financial wellness program itself on the platform. We also build communities on the platform. So, employee community is a very powerful thing. If you think about it, say I want to buy a second-hand car. I might not be comfortable talking to somebody on OLX or Quicker. I would be more comfortable getting that second-hand car from an employee in my organization. I can find roommates. I can find people to carpool with. So we build those communities with an internal classified solution. We've also created hobby clubs where you can create groups like maybe a photography club, a reading club, a hiking club, diversity clubs, mentor-mentee clubs. Bunch of things can be done using our hobby club solution too. We've also added a bunch of games. So we partnered with a lot of game studios to add single and multiplayer games on the platform. So I can play Ludo with another colleague. And it works very well in a global setup as well. If I'm based out of India, I have a colleague based in the US, we're playing chess with each other. It's a different form of engagement altogether. So that's what our thesis is. Our thesis is that different organizations have different requirements when it comes to engagement, and we customize the solution as per their requirements. In terms of our platform itself, we're live with 1 million users across more countries. We're live in 10 languages. We can support any language in the world. More than 10,000 brand partners across the world where you can redeem your reward points, you can get discounts and whatnot. We run with more than 450 enterprise solutions. So we're mostly mid to large size enterprise, although we also fit in the SME category very well, but mid to large enterprise is usually our focus. We've raised more than $7 million of funding till date, making us the highest funded player in this space in the country. One of the USPs of Advantage Club is our reward point redemption rate and our budget utilization rates are greater than 90 and 95%. And this is consistent across all our partners. We manage more than $50 million of budgets annually from different rewarding avenues which come of different organizations. These are a few of our corporate partners, a few of our brand partners. A few large companies we run with would be Concentrix, Hexaware, Mindtree, Quest Corp, Kotak Mahindra Bank. So we're very agnostic across industries. We also work with Target in retail. So it's very industry agnostic, country agnostic, company agnostic as a solution. We have all the certifications in place. We are ISO certified. We have BAPT, BCDR test reports available. We are GDPR compliant. InfoSec just sails over for us because we run with banks and institutes all across the world. We've made the system very secure in that manner. So one quick case study. So one of our large clients, Concentrix, we run with them multiple platforms. So all the programs which I showed you on the top, we run most of them with them. So the power of aggregation lies in the fact that if you're running different programs together in one platform, employees come for one, but it drives engagement in the other. So if I'm coming for, say, maybe getting a discount on, say, a Vivo phone, I might come for that, but I might just recognize my colleague in that particular manner. So different forms drive the other. We have been able to achieve unrealistic results in Concentrix, which has more than 200,000 users live with us across 8 countries. We've achieved more than 98% employee satisfaction score across the years. Our budget utilization and redemption rates are super high, above 95, 99%. Engaged employees in Concentrix are 45 to 75% more retained after launching Advantage Club before, instead of what we were doing earlier. So that's one of our very big success stories, which I wanted to just showcase here. So in the interest of time, I'll just jump on to the discussion and back to you, Ashish. I hope I've been able to manage things in time.
Okay, great, Ismati. I will be very cautious to say what is good and what is very good because we have many more players in the session. But I leave it up to audience to really get more insight and decide as per their priorities. Yeah, everybody has a different priorities. Great, Ismati, tell your team to leave the contact detail of Spock so that our HR people, those who are keen, they will connect. And this message to all my presenter of today's session, 5 of them. Thank you. So, and keep typing question. Ismati can respond, but I have few questions for her. Ismati, how is, this experience which you talk about is different from engagement? Because earlier it was engagement, now it became experience. I don't know, tomorrow it may be something else.
Yeah, very true. And these terms are very confusing sometimes. So it's an opportunity for me to also clear that out. So engagement is basically the level of effort and participation an employee in an organization will put forth for the work which they do. Like, for example, an engaged employee will be enthusiastic about the job which they perform. They will do their best and they will still look for ways to improve and innovate. But even your most engaged employee might not have a positive employee experience. Those are different things. While an engaged employee might be engaged in the work which they do, these employees are often looking for a job, where they'll be more appreciated. They feel they can build a better value and they have a better sense of pride in that company where they join. So losing top talent like that can be very problematic to the business, right? So this is where employee experience as a concept comes in. Experience is a level beyond engagement. Experience is an idea, the thought that, you are making employees feel like they belong in that particular organization. Once you're able to create a feeling of belongingness for your employees through recognition, appreciation, morale boosting activities, community building, they will align towards a common goal of the org so that, which matches their own career objectives and also the business objectives. And that is when you actually create a true culture of positive employee experience. So it's a level beyond engagement in general.
Thanks. So during the COVID, I have seen employee engagement becoming family engagement. Okay. and believe me, if company not thinking about the family, if it is, virtual engagement, you are out of the market, Okay. Yes. Thanks. One question is coming in. That's my question also in clubbing both of them. How to increase the adoption, Ismati? That's a big issue,
Yeah. Absolutely. So actually, it's not that hard. It's really easy to measure and calculate adoption and kind of ensure that it is driven in the right manner. So there are 4 aspects which I would put here. First and foremost, the platform which you are deploying, it needs to be very intuitive. It needs to be easy to use and navigate, even for the most technologically averse user. Like I remember during my Microsoft days, we were taught Bill Gates' theory that Windows should be so simple that even your grandmother can use it. So same thing here, right? Your platform should cater to all generations, all education levels. It should cater to white collars, blue collars, gray collars, everyone. So irrespective of what is your job FM, it should be easy to use for everyone in every age. Like us, for example, we live in 70 countries. So we support multilingual programs as well. Like you can use the platform in Hindi, English, Thai, Vietnamese, Indonesian, Malaysian, even Arabic. We did that. It was very hard to do, but we created Arabic as a language for Middle Eastern companies. That's the first thing. Second thing is the platform should have the right nudges to drive adoption. Like, for example, we have some features in which you can set automated reminders for managers to award. You can set reminders for employees to redeem their reward points. Like Friday is coming, every Friday, automatically every employee will get a noti that, hey, you know, weekend's coming up. What are you planning to do with your reward points? So such interesting nudges should be added. You can also use the power of machine learning and artificial intelligence here. Like, for example, we drive personalized setups in our app. Like your app is not a static app here. If I use Swiggy a lot, then dining starts coming on top. If I use Flipkart a lot, then shopping starts coming on top. Similarly, we have brand recommendations. If I'm on shopping on Amazon, it will suggest me Flipkart and Tata Click at similar brands. Depending on my usage, what I have done in the past, I will be recommended similar redemption options as well. Now, forget about redemption options. I mean, having your idea to pick your own reward is great, and you are kind of driving people. There is also a third piece out here, which comes under running and actually launching a platform. So you can launch a platform, but that doesn't mean you're running the platform, right? So you can talk about digitization, that I'm going to put a digital portal, but eventually somebody needs to champion that program. We need to work with the engagement partner in the company, work with the HR by creating regular engagement touch points. So for example, if you're doing appreciation, can you drive appreciation? We're doing a week of love right now. So we have a lot of corporate friendly badges. You can show love to your colleagues. Can you build communities of cooking? Can you bring all grandmother recipes all across the world and nationwide in a single portal? So all of those things really help drive engagement. And lastly, your leaders should also be involved. If your leaders are not involved, engagement is not going to happen. It's not just the HR.
Thank you so much. Last question, just short and crisp. Keep it very. How do we measure? That's big problem. How do we get out the ROI of all these things?
Yeah. Simple to do. One, you can drive different surveys. You can do employee satisfaction surveys, employee engagement scores. That gives you an idea of what is working, what is not working. Second is also in the sense of budget utilization and redemption. If you're giving money to managers, are they actually using it? Are they actually dispersing on the platform? Are people actually redeeming reward points out there? So these are things which we track, and we've been able to build very high, like more than 90-95% redemption rates out here. Lastly, attrition. If you are able to make a dent in the attrition, like for example, our top companies, the attrition difference between engaged and disengaged employees is 45%. It means that if you have 10,000 employees and out of them 80% are engaged on the platform in some form or the other, the chances of those 80% leaving the org would be 45% less than the remaining 20%. So that's how you can determine the different forms of actual, engagement after launching a program like that.
Great, thank you, Smriti. So that was Smriti Bhatt joining from Advantage Club. She is the CEO and co-founder. Great insight. Okay, and Smriti, request you to share the contact details so that interested HR can connect. Please keep answering, because there are some questions left out in the chat box. Keep interacting throughout the session. Yeah, sure. Great. Thanks, Smriti. Thank you so much for joining us. Okay, so from here I go to the next, and none other than very close friend whom I know since many years or before COVID. Not him, but I would call him, very close associated with his firm, and that none other than Manoj Agrawal. He's the co-founder of Zozo Day. Thank you, Manoj, for joining. I can see you on the screen. Yes, so, and we have been, you must have seen HR Shaper, has done a lot of association with Zozo Day before COVID, actually, also, not only COVID, within COVID and during the COVID, we increased the speed of the association. Thank you, Manoj, over to you. I don't want to take too much of time.
Yeah, thanks, Ashish, and Thanks, Smithy, to set up the entire context for this entire session today. And pleasure to be part of this group of speakers today who are sharing their thoughts, especially my close friend Partha, who is also part of the panel. And thanks everyone who are taking their time out to kind of listen to us, especially on a working day. So we will try our level best to make this 2-hour session very fruitful for all of you who are part of this session. I'll quickly share a brief presentation, which I hope would be helpful. Just give me a second, please. I hope my screens are visible.
Yes, Manoj, it is there. You can just maximize in the sense.
Just
slideshow.
Yeah, so I'll take around 5 to 7 minutes just to drive the point home around the topic today, which is employee engagement and employee experience. So we'll start with the biggest ingredient for any company, which is there is some noise in the background. Yeah, so people is your biggest competitive advantage. Sounds a very simple statement, but a very, very important and strategic statement. We have all heard about the Kotler's famous 4 Ps: product, price, place, and promotions. But I think the biggest P, which is the most important for the make or break or the success and failure of any company, is around people. And in today's hyper-competitive, commoditized world, your competitors can copy your product, they can copy your price, they can copy your marketing, they can copy almost everything. But the only thing which is very, very tough to copy is people and culture. And then that is what kind of drives companies forward. So let's talk a little more about people again. So nothing we do is more important than developing people. So as a company, the leadership, the founders, the CXOs, the managers, most of their time should go in developing their people. Because if they do that, then most of the other problems will be taken care of by the people. So basically you kind of build people and people will build business for you. Hence it's very important that you invest more and more time to kind of develop your people, your employees. Now the beauty of talent is it's a multiplier. So, and sometimes the multiplier is almost like a geometric progression. So the more energy and attention you invest in it, the greater is the yield. So a lot of times we find that a senior leader is trying to do a lot of the things by himself or herself. But rather than that, if they just get the right team and invest in the team, then they can multiply the business, they can multiply the revenues, they can kind of grow the business very well. And the starting point to build a great people strategy is to build great teams. And how do you build great teams is by putting a very high bar for hiring, getting the right talent, and putting a very high bar for people and culture practices. So you outdo yourself by making it better and better every single day. And how do you do that? So there is a lot of talk about employee engagement, employee experience, people, culture. We especially in the HR fraternity, we all keep talking about it. But most of the time we really find it tough to really practice what we preach. And one of the great ways to do this is think your company as a product itself. And then you start working towards it. Because when you think about your company as a product, you will do everything which you do for a product. Right from the planning stage to the delivery stage. So productize everything about your people practices, because when you have more than, let's say 20, 25 people in your company, a lot of things can't be done through manual efforts. So that is where you need to productize it. You need to codify your culture itself, and then measure it month on month or week on week, and then optimize and iterate. And that's the process. Basically, the popular Deming cycle of PDCA, which is plan, develop, check, and act. And if you keep doing it, then you will keep improving it week on week. A lot of times we label HR as a department or a set of people, and then we generally pass the burden of employee engagement, culture, people practices to HR. But HR is not a thing we do. HR is actually the thing which is running your business. So every person in the company is actually part of the HR. So HR is not a department, and everyone has to contribute in that, especially your leadership and your manager and the CXOs. And employee experience, which is EX, is what defines the CX, which is your customer experience. So we keep hearing about this cliched term, which is that customer is the king. But if we take a step back and think that what makes this customer a king is none but your employees. So make your employees as kings, and then I'm sure that they will make the customers as kings. A quick dive into what is employee engagement and how do we really think about employee engagement and experience. So employee engagement is an intersection of 6 dimensions, and all these dimensions have to work very, very well parallelly. So it's like your elements on earth or the elements in your body, just like your vitamins and minerals and carbs and proteins, etc., have to work together to make a perfect human body. Similarly, for getting very good employee engagement and experience, all these 6 dimensions have to work in harmony. One can't be higher and one can't be lower. So it starts with communication. That do you have open channels of communication, whether your roles and goals are aligned with the company's mission and vision, whether you are giving enough opportunities for your employees to develop. Are you giving enough empowerment and autonomy to your teams to express themselves? Are you motivating them both intrinsically and extrinsically? And are you taking care of health and well-being? So if you take care of these 6 dimensions, most of the times you will find that you will have a happy, productive, and engaged workforce. Now, the role of HR is not to be the sole owner of this entire employee engagement and experience. HR is just an enabler. I mean, they can only enable some of these things, but the responsibility is a collective responsibility of the entire company. HR can do data-driven processes. They can put the right tools and technologies in place to make sure that things are not hodgepodge, and they can act as a custodian and champion. The role of managers to drive employee experience and engagement, they are the closest to employees, and hence they have to take the biggest role in this entire initiative. They need to take a data-driven, very unbiased approach. And again, they have to use technologies and tools to make things easier for themselves as well as their teams. And the biggest role is played by leadership and CXOs. They have to walk the talk. A big misnomer that culture just happens by itself. No, somebody has to really champion it. Somebody has to build it, and it always starts from the top. It is one of the most critical strategic work for any leadership. Many times you will hear from CXOs or leadership that, hey, I have too many things. I have to take care of the revenues, etc., and I don't have any time for HR. I think those are very lame alibis. This has to be #1 priority and job for the leadership. And it should start with the org structure and hiring plan, because once you put that in place, then you can start thinking about the people and culture practices. One thing which we have found working very well in our company to drive employee engagement and culture and people practices, which is respect, relationships, and radical candor. can drive results. So you need to respect your employees, your ex-employees, and anyone who you come across as a prospect to work with you. Build the right relationships with those employees, and give the right feedback. And the feedback has to be very radical and on time. And if you do these things together, you can definitely drive results for the company. And then there is a famous line which says that all returns in life come from compound interest. And the compound interest here is about investing your time into respect, relationships, and radical candor. And then you will get that compound interest from your employees. And I will end my note at this slide that the most important capital is the human capital. If you do this right, all the other capitals are taken care of. Thanks, and I can take some questions, Ashish.
Thank you, Manoj. I know your organization is also big. Okay, I wanted to know which tool do you use for engagement and experience?
Yeah, so we use our own tool, Impulse, in our company, which is our in-house tool for employee engagement and experience. Also being used by a lot of companies in India and outside India.
Okay, great. Thank you for sharing. Yeah, so Manoj, I'm coming with the question, and one question came which is more to do with the candidate experience. I'm not sure, we can take it up because that's altogether different. Candidate has to become an employee, then we can talk about employee experience, because there is a different tool for candidate experience, right? Yeah. So my question is here, because a lot of founder, including you, also keep talking about, culture, okay, but not many people really walk the talk. Okay, even if they try to do it, something is not in their control because there are various stakeholders involved and all. So please share some of the example. How do you do it in your organization? This.
Yeah, sure. So see, number one, what we have found is, and this is my own experience as well. So when I was working in a company, when I was in a job, I used to think that employee engagement, employee experience is all about having those free lunch, or maybe a dinner party, or maybe some kind of an outing, etc., etc. But that is not really employee engagement. That is more like fun and something which companies will do. So number one is the leadership and the founder should be sensitized about what is employee engagement and experience. So what do you really mean by that? What is people and culture practices? And then they should know it very theoretically as well as practically, because unless you understand these things, you won't be able to take right decisions. So I think thanks to our own, one of our products, which is Impulse, which has helped us theoretically approach this problem, that we as founders as well as leadership team, we very deeply understand the concepts around culture and employee engagement. The second thing is founders should be finders first, and not only founders but even the leadership, that your hiring and talent practices have to be really rock solid, because if you get the right team in place, then you can commit and cascade your culture practices. So that is very important. The third thing is you have to start with the why, because many times we see, even in our clients as well as in a lot of companies, that people try to arrive at the solution statement, which is the what and how, too early, and they stay in the problem statement, which is the why, little too less. So you need to stay in the problem statement for some time, try to understand that, okay, why are your employees not engaged? What is going wrong? What is the root cause analysis? So don't shoot in the dark, first understand it. And then to understand it, you can do a lot of surveys, employee engagement surveys, one-on-one feedbacks, and then so on. Then figure out that, okay, what are those critical pieces which are missing in your company, and then start attacking those problems. And that is what we have been doing. So I myself do a lot of one-on-one feedback with my reportees, and then the same is kind of followed by the rest of the company. And then we also do a lot of surveys. And then using the right tools and technologies also helps, because in the current remote and hybrid work, you can't really meet and greet people day to day. So tools and technologies really make things very easy to do employee engagement. So this is what has been working for us, Ashish.
Great. Thank you so much, Manoj. Last question, considering the time. See, this engagement experience, we have been talking since many years, right? And I think after 5 years also we will talk. Do you think why there is no maturity is taken place so far? Ki, okay, bias, this is my KRA. We still want people to convince ki, okay, please do the engagement. What's your views?
Thanks, Ashish. So this is a question very close to my heart. So see, I'll give some mix of spiritual answer also here, because that is something which I have found works very well for us. See, there are two problems here. One is problems at the employer level, and second are the problems at the employee level. When we talk about the problems at the employer level, the first is the understanding of employee experience and employee engagement itself. So there is huge misunderstanding in the entire thing. The second is the alignment of roles and goals of an individual with the company's values and vision, because many times companies don't themselves have their values and vision and goals in place. And then they again confuse their employees with their roles and goals. So the vectors are moving in very different directions, and the total addition of these vectors is net zero. The third thing is a lot of companies think this as a cost rather than as an investment. So you have to start thinking investment rather than cost for all these initiatives. The fourth thing is fix the cause, not the symptoms, because many times we end up fixing the symptoms, but without realizing what is the why behind it. And then the final one on the employer side is that the companies are evolving with time, the macroeconomics are evolving. So what worked for you maybe in 2005 may not work for you in 2022. What worked for you when you were a 50 employee company may not work for you when you are a 500 employee company, and so on. Now, when we attack the problem at the employee level, that is where the larger problem exists. Because today, many times we think that employees will throw this problem that, hey, I am not engaged, engage me. Now, that is not how you approach the problem. First, a human being has to engage with himself. He has to engage with his own body, mind, and soul. So that inner engagement will drive your external engagement.
Yeah.
And there is a popular saying in Hindi ki jaisi drishti vaisi shrishti. So what you engage with your own self is how you engage with your company as well.
Yeah.
And then we need to practice this self-consciousness, self-awareness. And then if we do that, then we will be in a better position to engage within our company. One more point which I would like to make here is that every employee in the world is also an employer. We all employ either a maid or a driver or a servant or somebody who is helping us. So think how you are engaging your employee when you are acting as an employer, and do the same for yourself when you are working with a company. So treat others the way you will want to treat yourself, and then I think a lot of these problems can be solved.
Thank you, Manoj. So that was Manoj. Sorry, Manoj, time is just shooting out. And so that was Manoj from Zozode. Please, Manoj, your team is there. They are sharing the contact detail. Request all HR to listen to maybe in this recording later and then decide what you want best. Great. Thank you, Zozode and team. I go to the next one. And so we are hearing from our solution provider. We started with Advantage Club, Zozode now, then we'll go to Vantage Circle. Okay, I think somebody is there on. Okay. Let me mute him first. Okay, sorry. So yes, so solution provider, and then I thought to add two industry leader, HR industry leader, HR practitioner to share their views. Obviously they are in touch with a lot of solution provider. They are in touch with the ground level reality, and these two leaders, they are managing a workforce of more than 5,000. Ajay is even more, right? And Ajay Venkatesh joining from Accenture. Let me share complete. detail. Okay, so he is global employee experience, which is center of excellence in Accenture, and I think Ajay is you are managing a huge workforce. Yeah, please share in a brief your association with Accenture and what do you do exactly, and then I will shoot one question.
Sure. Thanks. Thanks, Ashish. So I'm part of the global employee experience team in Accenture. And like, we've been discussing, so this terminology is new and a lot of work that's happening in the experience space is also new. So relatively new function globally. And we are looking at, so I'm a part of the global team, which creates or, designs the entire experience for Accenture, close to about 6.5 lakh plus employees and counting. So I can definitely vouch for it now, coming in this side of the table from consulting earlier, that, what we've always talk of and we, envisage as, this can be done and this is what we can do and all of it is not as easy as it seems and looks. As you grow in size and in multiple geographies with different policies, cultures, multiple diversities across the globe, not an easy task. It's a challenging task indeed when you move from the typical engagement to the employee experience frame. So that's me, close to about 16 years in the industry, mixed bag experience in consulting with Big Fours, and now of course in Accenture from close to about 7-8 months now. Yeah. You're on mute, Ashish.
Okay, I'll directly go to the question, Ajay, and request delegate to post the question for Ajay. My question to you, Ajay, we are talking about, see, digitalization has taken place in a COVID, obviously faster than somebody can think of. There are something which somebody might be planning, must have planned for a 2025, they must have implemented by now, right? So future of work is already becoming, now of work. Do you think digital way is only the forward way? Or do you think something else will come and replace all this?
Okay, so I think that's a great question. And what we are seeing now is very clearly, I think COVID has, the pandemic has clearly shifted to the digital landscape, right? Everyone, you can see, Smriti talking about Vantage Club and the whole platform-based interface, those are days, and many more, right? Many of them are shifting. Even organizations are shifting towards, various systems and processes are moving to digital. Organizations like ours are operating, imagine such huge workforce, few lakhs of people now operating from home itself is a huge change itself in terms of bringing technology and digital. So to answer in short, is digital the way forward? Yes, it is. Will digital change? Yes, it will, possibly to much more advanced technologies. So Smriti mentioned about ML, AI, and various. I'll give you a small example, which will give you an idea of how things are evolved, have evolved and are evolving. Pre-pandemic, and I'll take just maybe a minute. Pre-pandemic, let's look at onboarding. How was onboarding done? The typical format, you used to come to a classroom-based model. One day, people used to come, fill your forms. Even in that little bit of upgradation happened. The bank guys used to come with a tab, and the earlier form filling reduce. Your UAN from the government also helped you to reduce your PF related challenges and all. Otherwise, earlier it was all form bharo. From there, from the classroom, now pandemic happened, so everybody was suddenly struggling. How do we get people? You can't with restriction. So things moved to a digital platform, right? Everybody started slowly, small, big company, whether you have money, don't have money, you have to move towards that more slow and steadily. So people started moving. So everybody has an onboarding system platform or something that they have put together where everything is happening on the online mode. For evolved companies, what is happening today, for example, in Accenture, everything is happening automated manner, right? From your sourcing to, your entire onboarding process, everything is online. You just upload the documents, everything goes seamlessly, zup, the process moves very fast. So that's one step. Even more evolved, what we are piloting right now, I'll just give an example, and that will give you an idea of how digital is, reshaping. Now it's moved to a complete virtual zone. So we have an Oculus. So, Oculus is being given to candidates. So you get that before you join, and you order it and you get it. And we are trying it too, just from an experience point of view, how it changes. And you have an entire onboarding that happens in reality, in virtual reality. And you actually experience colleagues, in zones. So Smriti mentioned some games which is online, but we are saying games in virtual zones. You actually come together interact, you actually play like you do in the Playbox, etc. So you can see the difference of the level of technology shift which has already happened, and trust me, it's moving in that direction. So the exponential evolution is happening. Digital is the way, no questions asked. If you're not looking at it, you're way behind the curve already, is what I will say. If you've started looking at it, very good. And if you've already, like you said, those who already started it before, very good for them. They're already reaping the advantage. I'm pretty sure a lot of them will agree who had already started thinking in that direction.
Okay. So great input, Ajay. And like Manoj was talking about P, and that Manoj mean to say that Philip Kotler forget to add pupil, right? Okay. So my next question is directly: do you think that people touch is missed out?
Okay.
How much we should do the people touch? Do you have any? Do you like the? What do you want to share? That this much human touch and this much is digital touch.
Okay. My question then is back to the HR people in terms of how much do you know your organization? How much do you know your people? Do you listen to your people before you actually set up systems and technologies, or you randomly go and just because you need something, you come and do it? If you go deeper, you'll understand. If you listen to people, and I can't go into the details, but I can share with you that one of the kind surveys that was run, large amount of data that was collected. What is that one thing that emerged very, 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 very minutely or critically for a large organization like ours? What did it emerge? Clearly, the in-person connection emerged. With this whole way we are moving towards a hybrid work or virtual work. Clearly, in-person connection is something that is standing out. Whether you like it or don't like it, you need to ensure that you are able to give that kind of in-person connection to your people, which clearly indicates the point, Ashish, to your question is the people piece. No, there's no missing piece. If you're missing people, then you're missing the entire game, basically. So people connection, I mean, in terms of the ability that to help people bond with each other and build genuine relationships is something that an organization really, really needs to focus on. Not just, so technology and systems are enablers. They make your life simpler. Smriti also pointed out, I remember, making it simple and making it more effective for you to, use. So the user experience, yes, definitely a technology can support you. It can't become,
yes,
we have not reached to that level where it becomes a friend and a colleague, and I can empathize with you the way you and me, we can, probably have a one-to-one conversation and empathy. And that is the need, and that's missing today in most organizations. So as HRs in the whole run behind moving towards digital and digital transformation, are we forgetting people? Do you want an honest answer? Answer is yes. We are forgetting people. And I'm not saying this because, I'm in HR or something like that. I am saying what people have said through a survey that we've conducted from more than 80,000 people. We are missing people. So I think we need to balance both. It's not only digital, it's also people. Also give, bring in a combination of how you want to ensure that the in-person connection happens, yet, you upgrade your digital technology.
Correct. And Ajay, I can just summarize and say, okay, this answer can be given by only human being. If you ask this question,
oh, absolutely.
no chatbot or human bot can give the answer.
No.
Right. No. Great. Ajay, as you know, this awareness session, we have service provider, solution provider from employee experience and engagement. I want you to share the insight that, if anybody is going for a tool in their organization related to employee experience and employee engagement, this minute your answer or your views should not be limited to your organization, but as a industries, what they should look for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, these are the things I need to look for if I go for a tool.
Yeah. Okay. So I think a very valid point, and we have some providers as well here. So maybe as a feedback for some of them, as well as what I wouldn't name who we are using, but then at the same time I would want to state that some of the things that are important in a digital platform today. I think the first and very important thing that Smriti also mentioned is the user experience piece, in terms of whether it seamlessly integrates and whether I'm able to understand it. Like she mentioned very nicely that even my dadi should be able to use it kinds. If you're able to get to that level, nothing like it, but that requires a lot of a lot of FGDs, a lot of planning, a lot of understanding of the process, and then the whole user experience design. But that's okay. That is still doable. The bigger challenge that at least I have been observing in most of even the best that's available in the market, large global players also, is the lack of integration to the HR value stream. So you have a pocket product which you try and push in, but that product needs to, if I were to visualize it, it should be like a hub and spoke. And if the spokes of this particular platform or product is moving out, it should link to all the HR value stream, which I don't know. Many of them claim, but I have not seen a very smooth movement of any product in the entire HR value stream. Like somebody in the chat I was reading had written nicely that, from the time a person gets hired, or rather when you try and identify a person, which today happens in an AI and ML model, right? Identifying talent for yourself. So from there to the person joining, to the entire life cycle, the journey, that's where experience happens, right? That's the difference between experience and engagement. Experience, what is experience? Experience is the input. Engagement is the output. It's the byproduct. Experience is much more larger, and that's why this term is new, and people are moving towards that whole element of changing the behaviors is a very complex game. So what's the journey of that person going to look like? And it's going to change too, trust me. For some it will be like very high, some it will be low. That's how you have to constantly, that's why if you observe, the listening element comes in. That's where listening helps, right? So that's the feedback loop. For those who are engineers, you will know that the feedback loop helps you to regulate the current in a standard manner. Similarly, this experience, you have to keep listening. So the product should ensure that it links to all the HR value stream, which is right from the recruitment or talent sourcing to, somebody had written in the chat I mentioned also, it should include the exit part, which we completely miss, right? A person moves out and we completely miss that. Not only that, it should be inside out and outside in both, which means it should focus inside within what's happening within your organization in terms of the HR value stream, and outside in terms of what's your brand looking like, what are people talking to you about. So do we have a platform that covers so much? Not really, but probably a feedback to some of them here that can we build something that can be as robust as, can encapsulate all of it? Possibly, yes. Technology is doable today. And if we have all of these features, great. If you don't, then look at what is more important to you, is what I will say. In terms of if it solves, like Smriti mentioned about the R&R integration, the wellness benefits, so many of them are looking at, so if it covers what your purpose and your goal is in terms of driving experience, it can also be broken. Experience need not be always start to end. You can always plan for it in a sequential manner. Everybody can't have that bandwidth and money to design a full-fledged experience journey. So whatever is important for you, priority, whatever is your priority, pick that. And if that organization or the platform provider helps you to, anchor that particular piece for you in your organization, they are your right partners.
Great. Thanks, Ajay. So we have one question. That is the last question, but be short and crisp. One Venkatesh is asking to another Venkatesh because that's question coming from Venkatesh NK, if I'm not wrong. Okay, so he's asking, this was discussed earlier also, that, employee experience and engagement,
absolutely,
and all this, who is responsible, HR or non-HR?
So, good question. I think we've answered this as well. I think Manoj, right? Manoj answered this question earlier when he clearly said that it's not just HR. Again, HR should never start running with the flag in the front. Doesn't make sense. You are supposed to enable business, and that's how you will be able to come to the board table. That's why HR never comes. Nowadays, you're seeing HR coming to the board table because HR's mindset itself is changing. We are all trying to change. We're becoming business-like, right? If you think business-like. So clearly, HR is more of an enabler. They can just help in identifying, okay, this is what is our purpose. This is what we can bring. This is what will give us the output that we want from a business standpoint. Business has to drive it. If it's engagement or experience, both, you have to train them. And one very important, before I leave, I just want to give one advice to all the HR folks. Whatever you implement, please handhold your business leads. Whichever system technology. Otherwise, it's very easy for them to come back and say, "Yaar, ye to kaam nahi karta. This is like useless. It's just change it." Handhold them. Take them through the entire journey. Explain to them why we are doing it. Why we are doing it. Please note why we are doing it and how this is done and what will be the benefit. If you're able to showcase this 3 answers to these questions, I think you will be able to manage it, and business needs to drive it clearly.
Great, Ajay. I picked up the word why and the assessment. You are always emphasis on the assessment. You should know what your organization, you should know your people, you should know what you're looking for, then decide. Great. Thank you, Ajay, for taking out your time and spending
Thank you, Ashish. Thank you
stage
for
with
having me over here.
spending sharing your knowledge, especially with the solution provider in the HR fraternity. Great. Ajay, there are some question coming. Please, look into chat box. Okay. Uh, as I keep
Yeah, I
saying,
will answer them.
as I keep saying, no session is without supporter, and this session is powered by none other than Vantage Circle. And here is the so Partha, you have very challenging tasks. Believe me, because we already run the video.
Right.
Okay. Now I'm wondering, okay, how do we really ensure that Partha should talk something which is different and kind of very much is takeaway for the session, Partha.
Oh, I should try to say something smart, So I think the speakers, Smriti, Manoj, and Ajay has actually set the stage rightly. They've spoken about
Yes.
most of the things.
Yes.
But I think there's lots to discuss. I think there are lots to discuss.
Yeah. So I jump directly to the question, Partha. So looking at the time, same time is given to you. No partiality. After this, I will run the pending task, running a video of HR1. So informing everyone. So question is, tell us something more about the product which was not mentioned in video, and what are engagement module do you have?
Right. So I'll just take a step back there, just to add to some of the points which Smriti, Manoj, and Ajay had mentioned. What we define as engaged employees is a very simple thing. Now, anyone who goes beyond their job description, basically owning it. Okay, and that engagement comes from a lot of factors. Manoj mentioned about those 6 areas, right? So correctly, it's your policies, it's your practices, it's your mission vision. Nowadays, that's becoming very important. Employees don't join if your vision of your company is something very different than what they believe in, kind of thing. So all these are there, and the tools are there to help you in this engagement. Okay? It is not that tools are the magic wand which will solve your problems of employee engagement. Before I come to specifically answering a question, one more point is, let's not get too much paralyzed by all the analysis. Okay, the data says 13%, 15%, 17% engagement, doesn't matter. Okay, whatever you do can only improve that. Okay, who doesn't like recognition? Okay, if you say no, we are already very engaged company, so let's not do recognition program. No, I mean, who doesn't like recognition, right? So just to set the context there. Okay, in terms of the product, so we believe, as we said, like there are lots of areas there. And while we would love to do everything, it's not possible for us. Okay, we are not at a stage there. Hopefully, in some days, some years, we'll be there. So we have 4 main modules. Our main module is the rewards and the recognition, very similar to what Advantage Club and Zozode is talking about. Of course, there are unique differences, which when we give a proper demo, we can show. And I'm pretty sure everyone has their strengths and weaknesses there. That's the rewards and recognition module. We have a wellness module also, where we companies can run different kinds of wellness activities on the app system there, and it is all integrated together there. Okay, and we say wellness as an engagement activity, not wellness as you're reducing your insurance bill. Okay, that's not going to happen. Your insurance bill is because of your parents and your motherhood and all those things. It's not because of your health. Okay, so use those wellness activities for engaging employees. The third thing is the Vantage Pulse. Okay, that's the listening tool which everyone referred to. How do you continuously listen to your employees and not bombard them with questions every day? Okay, but you still, because if you bombard them, it's ultimately everyone will become disengaged. You ask them too many questions, they discuss. So that's the Vantage Pulse tool. And the fourth is the employee perks module, which we have, the employee deals and discounts, classifieds, all those things are there. Now, all these modules are connected together in one platform. Companies decide which modules they want to take. If you say there are lots of other areas of engagement also, which we don't play in, but that's how we are currently. You're muted.
Yeah. Sorry, Partha. Thank you so much. And I go to the next question. I request people to share their views and question for Partha. So I saw the website also, and there is a framework which called AIRE. Okay, and E is in small and 3 in capital. So I don't know what you're trying to explain over there. Can you please share what is that all about?
No, I wanted to stress upon that, and thanks for bringing that up. I'll also share my screen so that the reference is something which people can quickly understand. Okay, let me see that. Okay. Right. So why we came up with this AIR framework? Okay, we say it's the air your employees need to breathe in. Okay, we came up with this last year there, and it was very appropriate during this COVID times. A lot of companies suddenly in 2020, second half of 2020, we saw a lot of companies, the demand for these recognition solutions increased, and not just for us. I'm sure it came for all vendors in the space. But a problem which we were seeing was that people didn't know where to start from. Okay, rewards and recognition is not mainstream as like a comp and benefits kind of area. Okay, so people don't know where to start from, how to design the programs, how to evaluate the programs. After 1 year, your boss asks you, what happened to the R&R program we launched? Yeah, it's doing well, but what's the result? Okay, what do you tweak in it? So we came up with this framework based on our clients' data. We looked at all this data. We spoke to the industry experts. We did secondary research, and we came up with this framework for recognition policy. We call it the AIR: appreciation, incentivization, reinforcement with an emotional connect as the multiplier. Now, appreciation is basically, we are saying, just acknowledge the person's inherent worth. Okay, need not be on performance driven, need not because they close the sales deal that you give appreciation. Appreciation is because the person is there in the company, his birthday, her anniversary, whatever it is. It's appreciation. Incentivization. How do we incentivize people to actually be encouraged to use this platform, be recognized in this platform? The third is we call the reinforcement. What are the values which your companies is trying to reinforce, and what are the behaviors which you're trying to drive there? And lastly, the emotional connected. All these can be automated, but if you don't bring in the personalization, if you don't deliver it in the right way, it has no impact. Okay, it will go, it's a multiplier effect, it will be a divider effect will be there. Now, ideally, all these things, if you could do it personally, everything, great. But you can't. Your people are spread across different locations. Okay, your scale of your organizations are huge. So this is the trade-off which you do in a framework like this. Now, I'll not go through each of these. I have a couple of other slides also, and my thing is stuck. Okay, right. So I'll not go through each of these things, but we have a detailed thing on our website, where we explain each of these factors, how you design these policies. This is not a recommendation that this is what you should do. This is more of a framework. You decide based on your company's demographics, policies, missions, all these things. Okay, so I'll start. We also have, by the way, an AIR audit kind of a thing where you can just answer a few questions and find out where do we stand on recognition. I spoke on the recognition part more because that's our main product. The wellness is there, the listening tools are there. This is where the most of the demand is coming for, and I thought this would be useful for your audience. Okay, right. So I will pause now. How do I stop sharing my screen here? Hello. Hello.
Yes, I can hear you. Screen sharing is still there. Anyway, so I will continue, Partha. Question is, it's
you can stop the screen share, but because I don't know where it is stuck there. Okay, I'm not able to...
No problem. I will see what can I do.
Stop stacker. Yeah, got it.
Okay, great. Next very common question, Partha, since we have, this is like awareness session, more than one vendor, one service provider, solution provider. What are your USP? How do you differentiate from others?
I'm pretty sure Smriti and Manoj will be like, okay, we also have this differentiation. No, I'll say everyone has their strengths and weaknesses. Okay, so as I mentioned, we have these 4 modules, which is integrated on one platform. Okay, which allows the company, you don't need multiple integrations, you don't need multiple logins on one platform. It is there. Whenever you want to enable it, you can enable it. Okay. The second thing is we are focusing a lot on the analytics and insights. A lot of questions have also come. How much will it reduce attrition? Okay, how much my performance will improve? How my engagement will improve? So a lot of focus is there on the platform on giving you insights. Okay, how are you performing? How is the managers performing? How is your IT department performing? A lot of insights are there, and immediately the action plans are also given. Do step 1, 2, 3 kind of thing. So the insights, and it is not like we're not saying that we have reached that in a zenith. No, we are improving on that, but that's a focus area which we have on that. And this framework is something which is there. One last thing, which on the I'll not say USP particularly, but I think for companies, the service levels of these kind of solutions is very, very important when people look at evaluating these kind of things. Okay, because this is not a CRM tool where like your sales guys will be using it or your customer support guys will be. This is a tool which your entire company will be using it. It's not easy to shift suddenly after 1 year. Okay, it's a lot of cost which goes into doing that. So make sure that the kind of service levels and the support which you get is commensurate with your kind of an employee base. Yeah.
Great. So this very common question I'm asking to 3 of you, Manoj and Manoj team can respond in chat box. Smriti also. Partha, how do you see this commercial? Can you please share minimum, maximum so that our delegate can get some idea ki, okay, per user is this much if you go for 1 module, 2 module, 3 module.
So the prices are normally standard, but what happens? This is India, right? So lene ka daam aur dikhane ka daam mein, it's like a lot of difference which always happens. So I don't want to go into that right now. But the prices are not really, as Manoj had also mentioned, don't look at it as a cost factor. It is less than a cup of coffee. Take a month for your employees. I'm not even talking about your Costa coffee or something. Your Nescafe office bad coffee price is more than this.
And Partha, it remind me, when there was no COVID, how much company was spending, sending employee to 5-star hotel, spending on booze, and then, what do you call it, dinner, then, other thing, many other thing. People are trailing from other location. Now this became so easy, right? Okay. So I think cost may be coming if you just compare with earlier, 25% of, earlier expenses.
It is an investment. It is not a cost center is how we have to look at it. Of course, you have to take it with a pinch of salt. I am a vendor. I want to sell it. Okay. But it is still not an amount. It's like saying that insurance, like my father keeps on telling me health insurance. Okay. So I end up taking a 1 lakh health insurance. As well not take it. There's no use of taking a 1 lakh health insurance, right? You then as well take a good product, which might cost you better, but actually effective.
Okay, great. Thank you, Partha. And I want you to leave the contact details so that, our delegate can really get in touch with you. And please keep sharing your views in chat box. So that was Partha. None other than, as I said, this session is powered by, Ventus Circle. Thanks, Partha, for your support. Rohit, you need to wait just for 1 to 2 minutes. I want to run the video. And Rohit is joining as our HR practitioner and HR leader views, like we heard Ajay. We want to hear from Rohit also. I'm sharing the screen to run the video. Okay, where is that? Runs file. It was here. Okay, so I want somebody to audio is working or not. Were you able to hear the sound?
Sound yes, video no.
Pardon?
What I'm saying, AG, is sound yes, video no.
Okay, sound yes, video no. Wait. Okay, I will pause here. Let me start. I will request Magnum to come on the screen. Magnum, are you there? I will call him anyway. Okay, so Rohit, stage is all yours. We'd like to give your opening remark quickly. What's your views on engagement, experience, the digital boom, and what the workforce views also? Please share your views. Rohit is joining all the way from Fidelity. Okay, let me tell you, it's designation is the Vice President HR, Head of Employee Experience. Within bracket, he call it AEX as per the company. Rohit, please share your, some brief introduction also.
Sure. Thanks, Ashish, and thanks for having me here. And good to see so many other, platform providers over here as well. I know some of them have potentially even worked with Fidelity or spoken to Fidelity at some point of time. I'm well aware of that. Although I'm relatively new to Fidelity, I've been here a little over a year, but been in the HR fraternity and the industry for a little over 20 years, and potentially have had even the opportunity of meeting some of the co-panelists here today. But I think when Ashish reached out to me saying, "Look, we're doing this session, where lots of service providers and solution providers are going to be there. We'd like to have an industry view." I was happy to come in and share my view because employee experience is evolving at a rocket speed. And as many have pointed out before me, engagement does not necessarily mean experience, good experience. It may mean an experience, but we're now talking about positive experience, right? I mean, I take simple examples that when we meet friends who say, "I'm going to so-and-so town, so-and-so city," we always say, go to that small bakery or that small restaurant somewhere. The food is amazing. The service is amazing. We always remember it for an amazing experience, right? And we call that, it becomes a moment that matters in our life, right? So, I was here to talk. I know my colleague from Accenture has spoken extensively on the digital experience. I won't leave, I'd leave that out. I think we've covered that. It's done. So yes, definitely digital experiences are there. The human interfaces will never be replaced. But I think experience has to be looked at holistically today. As an HR practitioner, you have to see what is the workplace experience. What kind of workplaces are we offering today? When we look at a WeWork, why are we, or some of these other co-working spaces, why are we so wowed and enamored? Why are people so wowed and enamored? Because it's that workplace experience. When we look at those who've been working from home and who probably will continue in the hybrid, there'll be some office and some home. What is that home experience that we've given people when they're working from home? And I will just touch on a few things here. I will just say that, for me, experience is essentially something that gives you happiness, right? Eventually, what is the outcome? You have a great experience, you derive happiness, and it makes you happy. And happiness can, at work, when you're working, ultimately at happiness at work or even outside of work, are derived from three things, right? For me, it is 3 P's. I was talking to another vendor partner of ours, and we were having this discussion, and I said, it's amazing to understand that happiness is a result of pleasure, passion, and purpose. This is happiness at work. And what we are discussing for the most part today is around pleasure, right? Reward and recognition, the right, benefits, the right coverages, the right engagement, listening to people. That for me comes under the realm of pleasure, right? The right amount of money given, the right amount of emoluments given, the right amount of benefits, discount schemes given. That's all for me pleasure. Then it goes into where are we focusing on? What are people passionate about? As an HR fraternity, I know some ask, is this the manager's job or HR job? And I say, as an HR, yes, you have to move up to the next level where you have to start focusing on how do you make people happy and get good experiences out of what's passionate? What are they passionate about? Are we allowing that? And ultimately, is that achieving their purpose, right? So if you focus on pleasure, passion, and purpose, and modulate your entire framework on experiences around this, is really something I've seen organizations do very well. What I've seen in the ecosystem when I've been studying organizations that have a very high, when I look at Glassdoor and I look at who are these companies who are at a 4+, and when I look at when I talk to my fraternity and within HR who are here today, and I ask who are these companies which are not having a great resignation, which everyone's talking about. Some people are saying, no, ours is manageable. What is the difference? For me, I think that the secret sauce is those companies are focusing on happiness at work. Those companies are focusing on truly an end-to-end spectrum of experiences, right? And what I call moments that matter. How are you focused on moments that matter? For me, as a candidate, a wow moment, a moment that matters is receiving an offer letter. Is that a wow moment? Day one of joining is a wow moment. How have you curated that wow moment? How have you created experience around that? Your first year on the job, etc., etc. So these are a few things I leave, and I'll just say one thing towards the end. And I'll take questions after this, Ashish, but I would say, I always say the heart of the matter is that it's a matter of the heart, right? So organizations that are invested in business from their brain, but manage people and look at the people agenda from their heart, I think will win the game on experience creation. But I'll take questions, and I'll be happy to share how I think we can also design experiences. Experiences have to be designed as well. Today, it's all curated. Today's world wants curated experience. So I can also share something.
Hey, Rohit, thank you so much. Yeah, I have one question, and now Megnam has joined from HR1. Megnam, I want you to be ready with one question which you need to ask Rohit. That's homework from my side. After I ask one question, and then what is the replacement of the video which we wanted to run? Please think about it. Okay, great. He's there. Rohit, one question, then Megnam will ask. Hey, Megnam, thank you so much. What else do we need to do to create an experience? The wow factor.
Yeah, I think you perfect segue into what I wanted. See, when you're creating experiences, I think you have to first go back to the drawing board. Start with ask the why, right? Why are you doing this? You shouldn't do it because everyone else is doing it. You should do it because it has to make an impact to you. And the way it will make an impact to you is you ask, like, for example, in organizations where I've worked or where I'm working, we crowdsource ideas, right? We have design thinking workshops where we send our employees to go there, understand, come back and help us design, curate experience. So you don't, if we think 5 HR people and few business leaders can sit and put our hands together along with some industry experts and some panelists on this call to come and say, here's how we design experiences. No, we have solutions, we can design solutions, but the experiences that people want, I think you should listen to them, and not just through surveys. I think it's like, I've seen great efficacy in surveys and hearing that as a sounding board. But how about putting people together, getting your employees to come and curate those experiences, at least design those experiences. This is what we want. Ask your workforce, what do you want to experience? Do you want to experience a great workplace? Do you want great cafeteria? Do you want great benefits? So what is it that you're looking for? And I'm not saying when you get a wish list of 100, you can do all 100. But you can pick up the top 15, top 20, which align to moments that matter. I always emphasize on moments that matter. Figure out in your organization what is the moment that matters. As a person had a personal change. Has there been a newborn in the family? Has an individual got married recently? Right? There's a personal moment. In the office, what is the moment that matters? Was your appraisal? Was your merit increase? You got promoted. You finished 5 years. You finished 3 years milestone. Right? Define moments that matter to your workforce and then curate very amazing positive experiences that will give happiness during those moments that matter. That would be my response to your question, Ashish.
That's great, and it reminds me, Rohit, one thing. When our workforce was in the office before COVID, we used to request employee to create a workplace, keep the things from outside your home, and then keep it on the desk, right? Today, same situation is just replicated. You are at home, do whatever you want to do, correct? Your workplace by default is like this, Great. Megnam, what question do you have? This is the opportunity for you to ask to the, the HR practitioner, HR leader. Ask your question, and then probably we want to see what is the replacement of the video.
Okay, sure. Yeah, thank you, Ashish. Right, it was a very exciting session. I'll personally share why I love being part of Ashish's session is so I'm from HR1, right? I'm director of product for HR1, one of the leading solutions for HR tech. Employee engagement, employee experience is something that's been very close to my heart personally. We have a very powerful, dedicated module around it for good 4-5 years. Right. One of the reasons I was very excited for this workshop, I really wanted to connect back to the fraternity and probably understand what are their end goals, what are their probably what are the steps they would suggest in order to reach out to that place, right? So one of my questions to Rohit, or probably it's pretty much to the complete audience out there, right? What would be one salient feature that you would expect in your HR tech platform that can help fast track or enable your journey for to probably achieve a state-of-an-art employee engagement or employee experience? What would be one thing that probably you expect in your HR tech that can help enable your or fast track your journey? probably reach out to these wow moments?
Yeah, so Magnum, I think and I'll invite others also to answer that, because it's again an organizational prerogative. But in my personal view, I think we've already discussed this in a digital world. The UX is very important, right? Because that's what an HR platform, right? Today, an organization like ours, we use Workday, right? And we use Workday in end-to-end suite, but we use it because we know that it is an end-to-end solution. It is a one-stop shop for everything that an employee or a management team may require, right, from an HR tech platform, right? We use others as well. But I think for me, user experience, ease of navigation, ease of understanding, as well as having it as an end-to-end solution and not having to go to 3, 4 multiple platforms as an employee, I would like to have a one-stop shop. I mean, that would be my personal perspective, and I'm responding as an HR practitioner as well as an employee of an organization, both in one. But that's my view would be that.
Great. Yeah. Thanks, Rohit. Right? Anyone on the panel, right? In case they would like to add something. Great, very well, Rohit. Thanks, Rohit. Right. So at least at HR1, we've been very committed to work in this direction, right? We have a complete platform with all the possible modules, right? We're just not limited to just your talent management or your employee management, but we are really working in project management also. And employee engagement is something that's been very close to our heart since the inception of this complete product, right? Right from your candidate engagement to your pulse survey to your mood boards, or just rewards and recognition, and something that is everyone is able to do very organically. One of the reasons today we understand that we've got a very so as a product manager, right, one of the active SLAs I always have is how effectively employees, how regularly employees come onto your mobile app. We are talking in this world of data science, right? I'm getting a lot of echo. Can you mute, Ashish?
You need to mute.
Yeah, Ashish. Correct. So today, right, people talk about data analytics, right? But I believe we've just been merely able to digitize transactions. There are no real-time transactions that are being captured in the HCM platforms. Probably applying a leave or approve a leave is something that's still happening when the HR really pushes when she's processing the salary, right? So the DNA of our product philosophy is that we really want to enable employee to come onto this platform every 5 minutes, every 10 minutes, right? Just the way you go to your washroom, right? You go onto your Insta account. We want HR1 to be part of their lives. Just around this, right? Just to share you how we're trying to enable this journey. There is no better way than cricket to connect to Indians, right? So we came up with something, a virtual IPL, right? Where every morning, right, people were doing a prediction who is going to win, and just based on this, right, we saw there were like 180,000 predictions we saw in a mere 15-day window, second phase of window, right? We saw 60,000 employees across 400 organizations participate in this event. And what we were able to see is, since then, our average time spent onto our mobile app increased, right, from something like 2.5, 3 minutes to something more than 6 minutes. Number of sessions an employee was doing probably every day was less than 1. It jumped to 2.3, 2.4. So that's the whole idea on which we are trying to work, right? Pretty much brief. So I'll just share one video.
Megnam, before just you start. So one is IPL is coming. Okay, I don't know whether you are looking into that or not. I want to ask one question to Rohit, then Megnam, if you want to share the screen and run the video, very short. Rohit, what is the percentage of human touch in the digital touch should take place? Just share the percentage wise, nothing else.
It's a very difficult one, Ashish. I think if someone has cracked it, I'd love to meet the person, right? I think the future will tell us that. But I would say, the way I see it going forward, it's a half and half. I can share with you that today organizations, I know our organization is directly in conversation with Zoom. Our tech leads are talking to Zoom tech leads to see if we can build products that will enable even the future of working. I mean, tomorrow when you have an all hands meeting, and half your workforce is in that office because that is their schedule as per the hybrid work and half is not, how will you still have the same experience of that all hands meeting? And I know that large organizations that have mushroomed, organizations like Zoom 5 years ago we did not know, and today we can't live without them, MS Teams, Zoom and all that. So they're all focused on this. So I think it's going to be half and half. That's my best guess, but I'm only taking a best guess. And I would also say, Magnum, you've touched on the right thing. I think that is about UX, UI, and the analytics that you've been able to show about what you were talking. I couldn't agree more. So, AG, that's my answer. And if there's any other questions that the audience has,
Yes. It's always difficult because it depends upon company, ecosystem, culture, and all. Thanks, Rohit. Okay, so that was Rohit from Fidelity Investment. Please keep sharing your views so that Rohit can also, give his opinion and views. Okay, we have last two sessions. Exactly 25 minutes left out. I would like to give us, exact time to both of them. Magnum, what do you have to run? Please run it short. Magnum, you are there? His screen got frozen. Okay, he logged out, I believe. Okay, so okay, here is. So our next presenter is Hira Tiwari. After that, then we will have. Okay, so after Hira, we will have Shrikant Acharya joining from Opnides, great friend. He is from corporate gifting solution and the different than engagement, but part of the employee experience and engagement fraternity. Hira, I would like to hand over to you. Please introduce your company. What do you have something to offer with the HR fraternity?
Certainly. Thank you so much for having me here, Ashish. And I mean, it's so far the people who have heard from the HR fraternity, it's been really insightful. That yes, also gives us an idea that what are the requirements and the ask from the industry point of view. So of course, I'm sure once go back after this call, I'll have a lot of things to discuss with my development team and all. So very, it's been great so far. Yeah. So yes, I am Hira, and I actually am a VP of Business Development and Customer Success with CoreOver. I'll just give a quick and brief introduction of CoreOver. Right. So primarily, we are CoreOver is a human-centric conversational AI platform based on ML and NLP. That helps businesses in giving quick, automatic, and personalized response to their users, queries, and actions. And that too in different languages, on different channels, as well as different formats. So be it video, be it text, be it be it just the audio, we are able to help the customers out there. And of course, any system, first of all, like these formats which we are supporting is also available in 100+ languages. That is, almost 20 languages, vernacular languages of India, and 100+ languages of global, spoken globally primarily. So I'll go to the next point and quickly would like to wrap the things up, because I think there's one more presentation after this. So I'll probably spend some more time showing a couple of systems which we have built, or the solutions we have built. So yeah, any system is as good as the amount of data it has primarily. And with us, we are working with 100+ clients, partners with 500 million+ active users. So far, we have handled close to more than 20 billion interactions with 4 million daily users, active daily users, I should say, interacting through those channels which I just mentioned, through video, voice, text, and hybrid chatbots as well. So with our live, also we have for our business, we have live dashboards. So for our clients, we provide them actionable insights through those reports, such as sentiment analysis, the questions asked, the accuracy and feedback of the users. So that plays a great role as far as the client is concerned, because they come to know a lot of things through those reports. Now, coming back to the topic, right, which we all gathered here for. So I feel employees are the pillar of any organization, and their biggest ambassador, I would say. current employee or former employee, of course. So a happy and well-informed employee can focus more on their work, and thus they can contribute more towards the overall growth of the organization. Now, what we have observed that almost 80% of the queries to HR support system really don't need a person to answer them and can be automated. So those are generic questions which they get. Now, CodeOver worked closely with its client partners towards improving their employees' experience and engagement, leveraging our human-centric conversational AI platform. Now, we say it human-centric because we try to, of course, as a human being, we like to interact with the humans, right? Even though technology is there. So it should be as close as to the experience which you get talking to a human being. So that's how we try to come close to it, leveraging the technology. Now, what we understand is that AI can actually augment HR and give HR time to work on more strategic business issues. And CodeOver uses AI to streamline HR manual processes and provide a more consumer-grade service to employees, I should say. And by implementing HR chatbot, the client can save, what we have observed is up to like 45% of their HR's valuable time, and can increase its employees' engagement by 50%. Now, the employees get the answer immediately, which is the foremost thing. So whatever question they have, they just go there, and those answers are available 24/7, right? So if that is not very specific, right? But yeah, most of the answers are available, and we have worked with quite a few clients and have seen those things as well, right? In fact, what I will, the next thing, without much delay, what I'll do, I'll just walk you through some of the demos, the product demos, which will give you a better idea of what I'm talking about, right? Let me quickly share my screen over here. Give me a moment.
Yes,
right.
Yeah.
Is it visible?
Yes, very much, Hira.
Okay. All right. So let me hide it. Okay. All right. So this is one of the bots which we have created for Shipbuilder Engineers Limited, right? So as I said, like it is available in all formats: text, audio, as well as video, right? So I'm just, for now, I'm giving you with this a demo of our text bot primarily. Now here, the employee can get their specific details, right? And for that, of course, I mean, it is not available. You can't see others' details. So of course, there is a authentication which is required, right? So for example, if I want to download my pension statement, I will have to enter my mobile number, right? Or the number, the unique number provided by the organization, right? So I've entered my number. Now this will send me an OTP, right? Which I can authenticate here. And then it will give me an option. It is not just that you will be able to view it, right? You will also be able to download it as well, right? So I just received this OTP. A moment, I'll enter it quickly. Okay, I'll enter the OTP. Okay, then it will give me an option that which year statement do I need, right? You can select the year, and then it will give you the option to download the PDF. So it is as easy as that. And then, of course, you also have an option wherein you can any kind of updates which are available any kind of new announcements which are there, you should be able to see here as well.
Hira, it's in audio also.
Sorry.
It's in audio also. If I say something that shortcut will understand.
Yeah. So this was just an example of text. So different companies have different requirements, right? So one of the voice bots, I'll just give you an example. Okay. In fact, I'll give you an example of a hybrid bot, right? So this is we made it for NPCI, right? National Payment Corporation of India, and now the best part is why we say, of course, it actually relates you to the person, right? It was made during the COVID times, right? So it gives you actually a feel that you are talking to the right person. So it's kind of a meta version. Right? So he's the CEO of NPCI, right? And I mean, he would be answering the questions, right? So now you ask for an audio query, right? Something which you can ask. So either you can ask this question from here, right? So I'll just put it there, okay? And I'll answer that question. I mean, ask that question.
This is a very relevant question, and I will ask Nishit to take this up.
Okay, so for promotion, why can't we consider 2 rating?
I'll ask Real Dilip to take this up.
Right.
Okay, great.
So
yeah, let's continue.
And I will ask Nishit.
And you can, these are frequently asked questions primarily. So
whenever the vacancy comes up in a year or maybe 12 months, 18 months, obviously the next year rating doesn't matter, right? Because you already gone through the drill, you got the ratings, you got cleared the assessment center.
So yeah, I mean, it actually gives you an opportunity to, of course, I mean, as far as engagement is concerned, of course, you understand that, okay, you can, and not just that, I mean, you will be able to upload the details that you can download those and you can upload those as well.
Very good question.
Right. Now, what happens is, this closes. Now, there's another one which we made for the Great Place to Work, right? So this primarily is it's primarily a flow based, right, where you can actually enter the feedbacks, etc. This is also a voice bot primarily, and a text tool.
Please check the options below.
Right. So these are the options. Either you can select it by just clicking on that, or you can also speak and ask those questions, right? One more.
Great. So Hira, last couple of minutes, then I need to take the last speaker, and we are also yeah.
Absolutely. Sure. So this is something which I just wanted to show you. So I showed you the download feature, the meta version, and just wanted to show you one more feature. This is something which we are going to implement very soon and make it live. So this is primarily, from here, you should also be able to like upload the information as well, right? This also is voice as well as text, right? So if you want to onboard, you just need to enter a few details like employee number and all those things, okay? And I was also talking about the dashboard, so I'll just quickly walk you through that. So this dashboard actually gives you the entire report, sentiment analysis, etc. And if whatever information is entered out there, you can actually see it here. So if somebody has onboarded himself, you would be able to see the details, and you would be able to download all those details as well, right? So it is as easy as that, and it is available 24/7. And of course, this is something probably will save a lot of time for the HR, for the organization, and of course, as I said, it is engaging as well, right? So yes, I think we have got very less time. So over to you, Ashish, and I'm open to any questions if I have.
Yeah, I will ask only one question considering the time. Then Srikanth is desperately waiting, dear friend. Okay, we still have close to 100 people on the session. We maximum we touch upon 200 on an average. Okay, so Hira, tell me, if I ask for a payslip, it will give a payslip?
Yes, it will. It will give payslip, PF document, and any other information, any policy which you request for from the company. It will give all those details. So
Okay.
it depends. Like you can get the flow made as per your requirement, and actually it can also go to the extent to the initial screening of the candidates and actually onboarding them and then engaging them. So every aspect of HR can be covered in a seamless manner.
Does
And
it?
as I said, it's just a matter of time.
Yeah. Does it work like SMS? When you get the salary, then it will tell you, okay, you got the salary.
Yeah, absolutely, it does. It does. So so we can integrate the system with your HR system, with your SAP system, or any system which you have, right? So from whatever information you require, we just need to integrate it, and from there, the system, the bot can fetch that detail and provide it to the employee. So they don't have to wait to meet the HR in person. They can get those details with themselves.
Great. Thanks, Hira. So please, keep sharing your views in chat box. And that was Hira Tiwari joining from Core Over HR Chatbot. Okay, we had a Molly who couldn't join, so he was supposed to join from USA. Okay, I go to the next speaker for a day. And last speaker, Srikanth Acharya, CEO of Apnidi, and he loves traveling. That's what I can tell. And okay, one message to all HR people, and you must have seen a lot of posting on the LinkedIn that a new joiner, they are posting a photo of the decks with lot of goodies, right, giving by the company, which can be laptop bag, the mug, the notepad, the pen, and those are all branded one. So there is a one industries within the employee engagement, people are working behind it. Srikanth belong to one of them. And here is Srikanth Acharya. Srikanth, the stage is all yours. Over to you.
Thank you, Ashish. Hello, good evening, everyone. And it's been wonderful. It's been really enlightening listening to all of you. Hi, Partha, Smriti, Manoj. We've interacted at different occasions, and it was fantastic listening to to Hira and the other speakers as well. As always, I think this has been another wonderful session from HR Shapers. Excited to be here. I think a lot of things about employee engagement and employee experience have already been covered. I was really excited to know that at Accenture, VR onboarding has already begun with Oculus. So we are really moving towards the metaverse, aren't we? I'm very kind of grateful that the stage has been set like this. And probably the one thing which has not been touched upon this in this entire session is use of merchandise and use of corporate gifts, right? So who doesn't like gifts? And like Ashish rightly said, LinkedIn is filled with people putting up pictures saying, hey, I joined this company and I got this particular gift kit or welcome kit or this merchandise and so on. So I'm sure with all the technology that is there, the virtual onboarding experiences, the technology is enabling a lot of experiences to be enhanced virtually. But the one thing which is probably getting missed out is the tangibility. If you think about it, pre-pandemic, the experience of joining a new organization was about going to the office, meeting people, looking at the lobby, going to the gym, which you're probably going to go only that first one day and never go there again, and going to the cafeteria, hanging out with people, gossiping and all of that stuff, right? So that was exciting about joining a new organization. But now, with due respect to all the process that's there, you're practically in the same room and changing the laptop. That's pretty much what you're doing with a new job. And that's where a new joinee welcome kit makes a huge impact. So that's the kind of business which we are in, where we really take the employee experience to a new level with physical merchandise, which not only engages the employee, but their family, their kids, their parents, and so on. And the impact of that brand visibility, giving the employer an opportunity to build the brand, is much more powerful with merchandise that employees will use and wear. So I'll take a minute to tell you about 3 specific solutions that we have. I'll try to share my screen here. Can you please confirm once you're able to see my screen?
Yes, it's appearing. I can see sharing screen option. Yeah, it's there now. Carry on, Shika.
Perfect. So we do a wide range of products in the corporate gifting space. Pretty much anything that you can think of is there. But I want to speak about 3 specific use cases or 3 specific solutions that we do. The first one is a new joinee gift set. In this slide, I'm going to show you the different kinds of new joinee gift sets. You call it swag, that we are doing for a lot of different organizations. That was Flipkart, then there's Evolent, and there is Cognologics and SVB, and so many companies that we are making a lot of gift packs. Now, the way we make it easy and different for organizations is we build a custom design gift set for any organization, like the one which you're seeing on the screen here. And then we say, hey, how many people are you likely to hire over the next 3 months? We produce that much. Let's say it's 500 or 600 or 1,000 or 2,000 or whatever it is. We produce that much and we keep it in stock in our own warehouse. And as and when new employees are joining the organization, we ship it directly to the homes of these employees. This way, just in time for the employees joining the organization and their onboarding process is just about to start off, they get a very attractive looking custom-made gift pack with a lot of swag in it and with custom greeting card with their messages, with their name on it and so on, making this a very, very exciting experience. That's the first solution which we have, which is called KitUp. The second solution that we have is where we set up a white labeled e-commerce website for an organization selling your merchandise to your employees. What you're looking at here is the Bosch brand store. So this is a e-commerce store which is set up for Bosch, and then there is this is an e-commerce store which has been set up for Tally, which has about something like 2,000 employees and about 33,000 different dealers, which has a lot of swag, everything with Tally branding on it. This is a brand store which has been set up for an organization called Tefe. Tefe is the second largest manufacturer of tractor in India after Mahindra and Mahindra. So this is their swag brand store. That's their merchandise store. This is something which has been set up for Flipkart. It's called Fliptomania. So Flipkart employees can come to the store and buy their own merchandise. And what it really does is it gives an opportunity for the management to give out gift coupons on this merchandise store, so that the employees are still redeeming the points or redeeming the gift vouchers to buy merchandise that is specifically done for this particular organization with their logos and so on, and effectively contributing to brand building. So that's the second solution. The first one I talked about is called KitUp, which is a new joinee gift set solution. The second one is creating a merchandise store for your organization. The third solution is called Gift Cart. What we do at Gift Cart is, let's say there's a big event. It could be a family day, annual day, Diwali, New Year, or any such thing. Typically, what an organization would do is you'd say that, hey, we'll finalize this one particular product and we'll give this out as gifts to everyone. We say instead of doing that, you build a small gift card, which is a microsite, and give them, say, 5 or 6 options. Do not display the price. All the products are in a similar price point, and let the employees choose which gift they want and share their addresses so that we ship it directly to their homes. This is one such gift card microsite which was done for GE. Then there is this is, I think we've done for another company called Agilicis, where we gave them, this is for Agilicis, which is a company based in Chennai, where the employees had an option to choose from a headphone, ear pod, air fryer, home theater, and a sound bar. And this is another one which we did for a company called Latent View. Latent View recently went public, and their IPO was a major success. So this was done for them. They had an option to choose between 2 bags, a smartwatch, a speaker, and a headphone. And do I have one more? Yeah, here's another one which we did for a company called Allegis, which is a Bangalore-based company, and the employees could choose one of these 6 gifts. So this is as simple as it gets. This is what we do. We basically offer a wide range of custom merchandise and corporate gifts customized with your logos, and with different delivery applications, with different platforms to enhance the employee experience. And of late, we've started to really see what is the kind of experience that an employee has when they get goodies at their home. We took permission from some of the clients and we sent a small crew with the camera to homes along with the delivery to see the experience that was there. And it was really, really endearing to see how excited the employee and the kids of the employee they get, and they're thrilled and they're really, really happy. And the parents are super proud that, my son or daughter is working for this organization. So the point I'm making is that if you want to really take your employee experience to the next level, leverage on custom merchandise. It's a very, very, very powerful tool. Thank you so much, Ashish. I hope I did justice to the time you gave me.
Yeah, thanks. Thanks, Shrikant. Yeah, gift is very, I would call it, everybody look for a gift. Everybody love the gift, right? But very less people want to give the gift. Okay. You need to have a platform, and then thanks for creating, those company specific platform. That's a great initiative. Can I request, Partha and other people to just switch on the video? I want to ask one question. Smriti also. Partha, so your platform might have some bonus point, right?
What's the intention behind the question?
I wanted to know what happened with the bonus point. Does it go to website like Opnity? Does it go to Amazon or Flipkart where people can redeem, employee can redeem? Smriti, Manoj, please add up what you want to talk about the bonus point, how to utilize.
No, I think those are different options to redeem it, right? The gift cards are there, the merchandise is there. I think pretty similar for everyone. So those things are there. Of course, the different kinds of products in everywhere, different kinds of catalog is available. Others can add on to that.
Same. So there's a choice of brands which you can pick and choose from. So there's vouchers, there's products. We've also integrated with a couple of partners to add branded products, brand stores. So it's an employee's choice end of the day.
Okay, great. One question to Shrikant, then I will leave it up for a few questions. Shrikant, in the COVID, which kind of order you must have received, and which kind of industries?
Yeah. So we've got, just to give you some insight, in the last 8 to 10 months or so, we've shipped around 5 lakh custom-made gift packs to individual homes, right? And this has covered pretty much every single industry, whoever is interested in taking good care of their employees, right? So we've seen from startups to tech companies to banking, finance, insurance, telecom, pretty much every sector that we've seen. And the kind of products vary from, and it's not a one-time activity that they're doing it. They're doing it frequently. You'd think that, around Diwali is when they would do it more. No, it's happening very, very frequently. They're sending it, once every 3 months, which is good news for us and great news for them, because the employees are excited about continuing with the organization and so on, right? So the kind of products keep varying from season to season. Around Diwali, obviously, there's a lot of gourmet products that come in. There is tea, coffee, and chocolates and those kind of things which come in. And when the COVID was at its peak, there were a lot of safety products that were being sent out. There were sanitizers and there were thermometers and there were BP monitors and all of those kind of things that were being sent out. When it's a part of a new joinee gift pack, you're sending out a lot of swag that people can wear, things like t-shirts and hoodies and mugs and bottles and all of that kind of stuff. So it completely depends on the occasion and to whom. We've even sent out things like robotic vacuum cleaners, right? So because people realize that they probably are not allowed to get maids into their homes and they need to spend a lot of time cleaning up their homes, right? So we've sent, so there's all kinds of things that are going out as gifts and are enhancing the employee experience.
Shrikant, on lighter note, do you have Zomato and Swiggy on your website or app?
You'll be surprised, we do. It usually goes in as a part of the gift pack. One of the things is not Zomato, Swiggy gift vouchers goes along with that.
Okay, wonderful, great. Okay, so thanks, Shrikant. Obviously, the time is slotted, so time is allocated. And any closing remark you like to give? Then I will just complete the formality.
No, I think I really loved the session. It was very educative, and hats off to you, Ashish, and thank you very much for everybody in the audience. It was really, really interactive. I was going through the chat and I think it was a great conversation. If I had to give a closing note, I would like to share a link which I'm going to put on the chat. This is of a person who works for a particular company for whom we did a Diwali gift pack. He works in a remote village in Rajasthan, and his brother is a YouTuber. So he captured the video of unboxing this gift pack, and that went viral. It got 10 million views on Facebook, right? That's close to 1 crore people watching this, 1.5 lakh likes, and about 1,500 comments. And the comments are so positive, and that is employer brand building at its best. And that, I believe, is the true power of company swag or merchandise.
Thank you, Srikanth.
And watch out that link on the chat.
Yeah, please share in chat box. Okay, so before I request each one of you to give a closing remark, I want to run a video which I have been struggling, and that video of HR1. Be ready for a closing remark after this video. Let me run it. Okay, so I hope I should not face another problem now. Okay, so here is going. Where is this movie? Okay, wait. HRSCM. Okay, so just give me half minute. Let me see if I'm able to run the video now. Okay, here it is. Yes.
HR1, enterprise ready integrated.
Can you hear the volume? Can somebody confirm?
Yes.
HCM suite, mobile first with 10 plus modules, saving 1 billion HR hours and creating happier workplaces. HR1 HCM solution helps businesses 1. Automate HR processes to increase productivity. 2. Build a connected workforce with simplified human interactions. 3. Make informed decisions with smart insights. It all begins with the world's first smart interface, Inbox for HR. This interface intelligently assigns tasks to all the stakeholders on the scheduled date that they can complete in real time. It ensures that no one misses any task ever again. The smart search engine in the HR desk helps an HR to locate relevant information in real time to respond to employee queries faster. HR1 values human interactions at the workplace at all levels. It amplifies peer motivation with badges that enable a culture of appreciation, inbuilt chat that simplifies collaboration, and social profile that helps new hires break the ice. Managers can do a lot more with HR1. They can engage new team members with a welcome note, schedule one-on-ones, assign new initiatives, and give them continuous feedback as well as reward them in real time. Managers can peek into team insights and send one-on-one messages accordingly. At an organizational level, employees are engaged right from the beginning with a mood bot that gauges employee pulse, HR posts that keep them in sync, and case management that expedites their ticket resolution process. At HR1, you get a hawk's eye view with comprehensive HR analytics, helping you sense risks and opportunities early on and make timed decisions. HR1 gives you people analytics, a happiness index that reveals pulse of your organization, operational analytics that indicates health of your HR processes, product ROI analytics that gives an insight into actual ROI of the product, talent analytics that lets management identify future leaders with a 9-box matrix, HCM process analytics that identifies workforce movement, top performers, hiring trends, CTC trends, and much more. And that's not all. HRs get ready access to 100 plus MIS reports with easy customizations for day-to-day reporting. With proactive insights in place, simplified human interactions and optimized HR processes, HR1 empowers you to create future-ready and happier workplaces.
Great. So that was HR1, our partner. Yeah, so that was HR1, our another partner. And as I keep saying, this session is powered by none other than Vantage Circle. Thank you, Partha. And please be ready for a closing remark. Before that, I like to say, okay, let me start with closing remark. Okay, I will go to Manoj. Manoj.
Yeah, so it was a long 2 hours for everyone, but I guess a lot of these webinars and sessions are happening for the last 2+ years, and I'm sure that all people who are listening to these webinars are already aware of these things. So I would request everyone to take small, simple steps to start implementing some of these things, because that is when you will start seeing some results, some incremental results in the problems which you are facing. I think you are not audible, Ashish.
Okay, sorry. So that was Manoj from Zozode, dear friend. Let me go to Hira.
I would like to thank you, Ashish, and everyone else as well. I mean, it was really insightful. And I saw a couple of good examples. And of course, for me, it was also a chance to learn what is the need of the hour from the HR fraternity, and I look forward to implement some of them in our products as well.
Thank you, Hira. Can I go to Smriti?
Yeah, so first and foremost, thank you for everyone to be here. I think it was amazing I was not sure how it would be to have like so many platforms be there on one single panel, but I think it worked out amazingly, and there was so much of learning to get from everyone. Just as a closing thought, I just want to say that, there is no textbook recipe or no magic beans to build a good employee experience. So I think the most important thing is to keep disrupting this space where digitization and innovation, and the world moves very fast. So if you don't move fast with them, we'll be left behind. So it's important to digitize everything and move forward.
Thank you, Smriti. We still have 50 plus audience on the session. Can I go to Partha?
Yeah, I think it was a great session, having everyone together, and for the community. I think it's the engagement is a journey, like as Manoj said, right? It's a small steps have to be taken in this direction, and the tools and technologies are there to help you in this journey. And one more point is that think about this as investment, not as a cost factor, which should be. It's a very small, minor cost. It's an investment which will yield rich dividends on that, right? Thanks, everyone.
And Manoj, Partha, Smriti, Hira, Shrikant, I wanted to create a different engagement. That's how I came up with this idea. Okay, let's have it, and people are really loving it, because I did earlier awareness session on HRMS, BGV, HR compliances. This is just for a benefit of our HR community. Believe me, people don't get a right person to talk in your organization. Okay, I want to have a demo. They really struggle, or they don't want to take effort to find out. Actually, people just post it on WhatsApp group. Okay, fine. Can I get the number? Some people have it, it's fine. But if they don't have it, they miss good opportunity to connect with good vendor. That's what my thought process is. Okay, Shrikant, you did already closing remark, but still last one line from your side.
Yeah, I would say the war for talent is real, and it's really an employees market right now. And like a lot of people said, organizations should look at it as an investment to engage their employees and enhance the employees' employee experience better, to be able to attract the right talent, and more importantly, to retain it. Thanks.
Okay, so from my side, technology saved the world during COVID. Believe me, imagine if this could have happened before 10 years. We don't know what the workforce might be doing. We don't know how to engage the people those point of time. And not only technology save the world, you people as a player, leader of the industries really save the workforce and the organization. How to keep them engaged, how to provide the logistic, how to provide the infrastructure, how to provide the support. Thanks to each one of you. You also must have worked hard. I know the number of query you might be getting during COVID, still getting, will be getting as well, because every company is looking for automation, digitalization, and employee engagement, employee experience is need of an hour. Thank you all the delegates. Please reach out to all these people. They have shared their contact detail in case you're looking for demo, you wanted to know more about everything, please connect with them. I'm not in between any part of the deal, please understand. Okay, great. Thanks once again. We look forward to your support, and part 2 will also happen soon. I wanted actually 10 player to be there, Smriti, like you said, how it will go. For HRMS, there were 25 vendors. And that ran for 3 days, you know, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Each day there were almost 7 to 8. Yeah, because there are a lot of organizations looking for this kind of thing, correct? I just wanted to create a platform. Thank you so much once again, Manoj, Shrikant, Hira, Ismati, Partha. Partha, thanks for your support, powered by none other than Ventus Circle. Thank you all the delegates. Bye bye, take care.
Thank you,
Bye-bye.
everyone.
Thank you.
Thanks, everyone.